The Jesus Trilogy, Book 2, Then There Were Two, Chapter 58. How's it looking for 7-4? Not good yet, Nathaniel said. He added the last word to his sentence slowly, but with an element of confidence. Well, unless I miss my guess, you boys are going to come up short again, old Uz said matter-of-factly. He was sitting over in his usual corner in the upper room above his shop, hair a mess, face gnarled. The only thing that had not changed since his youth was his mind. It was sharp as ever. The 6-Point gang, thought to his face generally despising him, all realized he was essential to their success. Of late, their successes were few and far between. Uzz's track record was unparalleled in the war against Roman oppression. Oh, he didn't go out in the trenches and fight hand to hand, but his ideas, ideals, and uncanny ability to come up with and modify plans that made sense and actually worked was invaluable. He was worth far more money than any of the others could or would pay him, but he never took even a penny when the 6 Points offered it to him for services rendered. The latest idea was devised by the 6 Points leaders, but it was once again old Uz who tweaked it into a nasty plan that would not only work, but would by its simplicity most assuredly be executed perfectly by any reasonably intelligent group of men. How's the night watch going, Junior? Ravis asked. Good, good, Omar Jr. assured. No hitches so far. And the mechanical end? Again, no real problems. Ravis caught the less than fully positive tone in Junior's voice. Omar picked up on Ravis' facial expression. Well, the stone cutting hasn't been a problem. Amazing how quiet those guys can be. But what? Well, over on number 3 last week, one of them broke through into some sort of vault or something. Vault that high? I know, we couldn't believe it either. I went up to have a look. It looked like some sort of burial chamber. Everything gold and bronze. There are a couple of mummies staring us in the face. Get your hands on the treasure. Didn't want to risk it for fear the vault is checked periodically. If someone found something missing, I fear our cover may be blown. Omar sat back, seemingly exhausted from his brief report. You're probably right. We can recover that loot later after this job is done, Barabbas said. As he turned toward Judas for another report, Omar added, I fear we still do have one glitch. What's that? Barabbas snapped. Well, we repaired the brick in the vault, but there was some dust and small amounts of debris that fell down into the vault. It got onto some of the objects. Barabbas' face turned red. How could you? We watched the papers and the guards. Nothing's changed. Routine's the same. No news of any new findings in the papers. Barabbas cooled. Okay, we'll have to chance it. What day is it? He then added before getting an answer. Good work, Omar. God will be with us. June 27. What? Barabbas asked. The date, Judas said. You wanted to know the... Yes, well, one more week. Yes, it should be plenty of time. How's your gang, Judas? Judas, still his cocky self, stood, put his hand on Barabbas' shoulder and said, No problem, Lefty. Everything's working out perfectly, even better than expected. Lefty didn't need to hear any more. Judas always came through for him on the football field and in life. But he knew he would hear more anyway. A small annoyance compared to what Judas brought to the 6 Points table. Respect, power, and vision. Gentlemen, I got great news for you. Not only will Pontius Pilate, King Herod, and Pilate's son all be there, but we will see 2 other relatively famous faces as well. Mark Antony and also Cleopatra, leader of the Egyptian nation, will make an appearance. There was silence. And, spit it out, Johnny, Uz chided. The one, the only, Tiberius Caesar will also be there. There was real silence, broken only by the beams coming from Judas' face. He was a master speaker and knew when to let something important sink in, and sink in it did. Finally, because no one else could speak and Judas could not stand long periods of silence, he said, What do you boys think of that? Silence still hung heavy in the dimly lit room. Isn't that wonderful? All the world's most powerful people in one small place, ripe for the pickings. Suddenly Barabbas' son poked his head over the edge of the stair rail and said, "Quiet! Patrol's going by." The one lantern was quickly extinguished and the room remained silent. After what seemed like an hour, but was actually no more than 3 minutes, the whispered voice said, "All clear." The little interlude got to everyone's to thinking. As the lamplight began to increase, Thomas said, "Maybe we better can Project G. Caesar will almost certainly have legions of guards, and security will be far tighter than we planned." "Already covered that," Judas said nonchalantly. "I've already infiltrated the local police with our operatives. Some of the local police will be assigned to each distinguished visitor's guard or legion. Our men will be part of that assignment. We'll position them properly so they won't know what hit them." "Sounds reasonable, but maybe not an issue of this magnitude," Barabbas said. Uz knew the doubt in the room would kill the project and immediately said, "I move that we unanimously ratify Project G and move forward. My daddy and granddaddy and our leader's daddy all fell at the vile hand of the Roman sword. We got to move on this as scheduled. This opportunity may never come up again in the history of this old planet." "I second the motion," Judas said quickly. "All in favor say aye," Barabbas said. There were 5 ayes, but that was plenty. It carried. Barabbas knew exactly what had just happened, but he let it just go by. It probably would be the best opportunity 6 Points would have to overthrow the Romans, but he also knew the chances of it actually happening were very slim. But he also was desperate to find out who belonged to the Roman sword that killed his father, and he was not about to let anything stand in the way of that quest, not even the mighty Caesar himself. "Gentlemen, God will be with us. Let's meet here again Thursday to finalize everything." Uz put out the light, and one by one the 6 Points members finally and separately filed out into the dark night air.